Welcome to the Outdoor Archives. Gonna do something a little bit different this week. I had the chance to meet up with a bunch of old friends on a fishing trip up north from where I live, and it's a trip I do once a year. It's for trout, and it's more about a tradition now where a bunch of friends that we've had have kind of moved away, and we all sort of meet in the middle and have a weekend of trout fishing and fun, and wanted to take you guys along and show you bits and pieces that I could. It was pretty hard to film as there was a lot of activities going on, but did my best to take some video, and here it is. Welcome. We're out today, the day before the trout opener, and we're just going to walk this creek a little bit because it's been kind of a funny spring and we want to see if there's any trout running. So we're going to kind of walk up and down, see where the fish are holding, and that'll help us in our fish tomorrow. So we're going to go for a little walk. Welcome. Again, we didn't have to walk too far, and we found this pool here. If you could see, I see two fish in here. Don't know if you could see them there on the clay banks. So season isn't open yet, but we know that they're in here. So hopefully tomorrow would be pretty decent day. So we'll keep walking here and see what we find. We walked downstream for a few minutes and found that there were a number of pools holding fish. The run wasn't as good as previous years, but there were enough in there that we had a good chance of getting one or two the next day. So of course we had to go back and have ourselves a nice coffee and then make our way to the motel. Well, we've done our walk of the stream, and we kind of found ourselves a cheap little motel in the middle of nowhere. Certainly nothing special. And we're waiting for the rest of the crew to arrive. I think we're going to have about 10 or 12 people here tonight, maybe a couple more. And I always get here first. And the reason is I am the keeper of the meat. So I'm going to be carefully guarding this guy for the next 7 or 8 hours until the rest of the crew gets here. But hopefully we'll have some time to film some of the madness that goes on. We definitely like to have 1 or 2 little beverages, but nothing crazy. Then tomorrow, on to the fishing. The rest of the crew showed up later that night and had all brought some good eats for us to enjoy, and we indulged in some music and a few beverages before turning in for the night. 5 o'clock came pretty early, so we got packed, got in our cars, had some breakfast, and made our way to our favorite creek. Good morning. Didn't have a lot of time to film today. I had to really run through the river, and having a backpack was not conducive. I wanted to get some video of me catching some fish. I did get a few spawners, but I put those back. I like to just keep the small ones. There's just little ones in this creek. There's quite a few of them. So it's better that I just keep the smaller ones. Little brook trout. Beautiful little fish. And waiting for the guys to get back, and we're going to have a fry. So, and coffee. Gotta have coffee. So should be good. And then later this afternoon, we're going to try to find a spot to go for some bigger steelhead. The crowd was crazy this morning, so we came up here, which we kind of do anyway. It's kind of been a tradition that we've had for some time, so stay tuned. I'm really impressed that my son hasn't given up. We fished for hours, and I'm pretty tired from all the walking, and he's still trying to catch the big one. You see him here just tossing in and out, trying to get that big one to bite. Well, it didn't take too long for my son to hook into a pretty large steelhead, also known as a rainbow trout. He hooked it up and fought it for a few minutes, and luckily I had the GoPro here to catch the whole thing. I think this one was probably around 4 or 5 pounds. One of the smaller ones we catch, but he certainly had fun handling it, and it was kind of fun watching him fight it. So mid-afternoon now, the action slowed down pretty good, and you know, I always take some time to sit on the river and kind of reflect on the past trips. This trip was started probably about 35 or 40 years ago by one of the grandfathers of the crew who's passed on, and he showed his son, who invited his friend, who in turn invited me. Now some of their grandsons, my son, are now fishing this river and coming on the trip. and they don't seem to miss it for anything. It seems to be a pretty solid tradition, and we always seem to get lucky. Days like this are not uncommon. We rarely get any rain or cold weather, so I just feel that we're blessed, and I always take some time to kind of sit back and smell the coffee. It also seems to be that my son and I always seem to have a few minutes to sit down and just have the greatest conversations. Truly time I'm going to relish in the future. Thanks for joining us on the opening of trout season. I apologize if some of the clips seemed kind of scattered. I didn't really have any plans for this weekend, and it's a pretty busy time as we're meeting with friends that we haven't seen in a while, and lots of fishing and cooking and things are going on, so I did my best to kind of film in and around what was going on. So the clips are a bit scattered, but I think all in all it shows what we do and that we had a good time. I thought it was pretty important to show this to you because this is the place actually that renewed my love of the outdoors. I started fishing here 20 years ago, and before then I kind of lost interest in the outdoors, lost interest in fishing, and now I've been coming every single year. I haven't missed one for 20 years. My son is now coming, and it's something that I look forward to and love to do every single year. So I hope it's going to be a tradition for years to come, and next year my youngest son is coming with me too, so that's pretty exciting. Thanks again for sticking with me, and hope you'll like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you in the next video.